Hello, my dear public. My name is Alex, and today I'm starting this series of short videos of funny stories and failed happened when I was working in cloud development related to the product called Anywhere. Let me introduce you really quick into the context. Our goal was to convert legacy monolith Java application with PostgreSQL as database to the modern serverless AWS native application. So instead of deploying Java application and PostgreSQL database into clusters, containers, EC2 machines, we used DynamoDB, step functions, lambdas, SQS, and SNS, and event bridge, and more. And the first story happened around DynamoDB streams, lambdas, and step functions. And the story actually is called How I Spent $400 in lambdas in just one evening. And that was a good lesson for us that step functions have a great power, but with a great power comes great responsibility. As we were developing new backend, we needed to migrate data from legacy database to AWS DynamoDB. We decided to be smart enough to migrate only a few tables, such as users, and augment them with the data from the system we integrate over HTTPS connection. It was a very good decision as we saved a lot of time of debugging all database structure, and plus we were able to test some production functionality within migration solution. All in all, we needed to migrate just about 19,000 of record, which doesn't sound quite a lot, but we had some challenges. We needed to be very careful with the downstream systems as we could be able to overload them. Because most of the systems we integrated to had 5 or 10 operations per second load in production for the whole production. We were writing to the DynamoDB table which had streams configured on write, and there was very sophisticated logic after the streams. We needed to keep eye on DynamoDB limitations and quotas, as well as on Lambda limitations and quotas and stuff like that. And also, systems we integrated to were unstable. We needed to introduce very solid retry mechanism to make sure that the data we migrate eventually consistent. To focus you on the VLAN, I'm going to show you just the main blocks of the system architecture which led to the fault. The migration script, which writes around 19,000 of record to the DynamoDB, every record created separate event for the DynamoDB stream, which actually should be turned off while migration in progress, but it was not. These events eventually come through the summon infrastructure here to the Lambda, which eventually kicked off for the each event step functions. And that step function integrated to the downstream systems through the HTTP connection to make some writes. And also important moment here is that that Lambda here had 60 seconds timeout. So how that happened? We created migration script, and that was the time to check it. We got clone of production database, and in development environment, we started to migrate the whole production data to test the migration solution. I thought I had reliable solution to turn off the DynamoDB stream, but I was wrong. An undesigned functionality, that Lambda which kicked off step functions, eventually triggered upon migration. So 90,000 events caused 90,000 step functions run in parallel. All of them in parallel started lambdas which tried to read over HTTP some data from the downstream system. Downstream system operations per second's budget quickly exhausted, which means that all of these 90,000 lambdas were sitting and waiting for response from the downstream system for 60 seconds, and after 60 seconds timeout, the same lambda was evoked again because it was failed, and retry mechanism in step functions just started it over and over. And that uh, was long for the 2 days. And guess what? I started that migration script in the evening and went away from the keyboard. I returned back to the keyboard in the late evening, like at 11 p.m., I don't remember, and figured out very scary picture. I had a lot of step functions running parallel and migration was still in progress, so it's supposed to be finished within 1 hour. I quickly wrote a script to stop all of the step functions and run it, but AWS wasn't able to just stop them right away. The step functions ran for some time afterwards. On the next day, our DevOps came and said, "Wow, your serverless infrastructure costs too much for us. Containers are better." But I already knew where the issue was. We have opened Cost Explorer and found a pretty cool picture. There was Lambda, which was invoked 172,000 times, with total duration of 10 million seconds. And actually, that Lambda invocation cost us $400. It was pretty cool experience, showing us how powerful is AWS and how cautious we have to be. In this video, I have intentionally omitted such topics as how we did test migration, and why the DynamoDB streams failed to be turned off, and actually many others. Yes, if you want in the comments, and I'll reply with the correct answers eventually. You also might be interested with a tech talk about Anywhere platform, so look into the description, there will be video about ideas behind the Anywhere. Also, I have many interesting stories to share with you, which you can see on the screen. So stay tuned. See you!